What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about Tupperware. Ticker is TUP. I want to give you a good breakdown of some of the data points, what shorts have been doing, and something that they can do, at least from the GNS playbook, that could really work in their favor. So I'm going to go over all that, but first make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that, let's get right to it. So based on Friday, it did go down 8.25%. It did have a sell-off to the $3.20 range, on which it did bounce off of some very strong support, and it trended higher because of that. A little bit lower for volume, so 12.5 million shares being traded. 67 is the average, so the volume is definitely going down. But when it comes down to it, there was one thing that did come out on Friday, and it was this. So it looks like the CLO did and is leaving. It looks like effective on September the 30th, 2023. So once again, fairly normal stuff to do this kind of PR. It does also state the fact that they're leaving due to their own decisions and not due to any disagreements with the company and so forth. So once again, I think that's a good thing. But like I mentioned with shorts, so there's a ton of failure to deliver still. Shorts are still lingering. So based on Friday, shorts did return a very, very minor amount. So 11,000 shares. But still 25% of the free floats being shorted, still on the threshold list. So I think today is, or at least Friday was day number 7, if I remember correctly, or 8. But of course, when it comes down to the whole threshold list, 13 consecutive days, that's the point that you want to watch for. 10.13 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow is currently 263.39%. So it is fair to assume that shorts are still very much in Tupperware. But one thing that GNS has done recently is the fact that they actually, I believe this was prompted several months ago, on which they did propose it to the courts, and I think it did get approval, but they're doing a spin-off company. And by doing a spin-off company and obviously a dividend associated to that, they are prompting a share count. And because of a share count, that does eliminate, at least temporarily, the whole naked shorting. So a lot of these naked shorts and just a lot of just shorts in general will leave on their own accord as a result. So once again, that's a fairly good thing. And just so you guys are aware, when it comes down to a dividend, technically anyone who is shorting does have to pay that out, whether it be paid through cash or stock, but it does need to be paid. So once again, I feel like Tupperware does have a very rare opportunity that they can piggyback off of this while they still do have a lot of good eyes on it. So once again, I think that might be a very positive thing in my own opinion. As far as the latest round of 13Fs, so this is institutions disclosing their positions to the SEC. Just a lot of institutions have been getting out, which of course, based on the Q2 performance, is kind of understandable. And just so you're aware, all of these transactions did occur during Q2. As far as options, based on Friday, there was $517,000 in calls being purchased versus 1.29 million in puts. So based on this, people are anticipating for it to trend down, but this is once again when people are assuming a certain thing and you come out with some news, like I said, similar to what's happening with GNS, then your stock will go up considerably. But keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. You guys always do your own due diligence. But generally speaking, I do feel that whenever there is a surprise in the market, then it can definitely go up. And when it came down to GNS, more specifically, when they did announce this, it caused a quick pop up, but then obviously people were very doubtful about it, so it kind of trended down. But the fact is, sometimes it's easier to be number 2 or number 3 to do this, because then you see GNS go through all the struggles, they kind of get the success, people see on the market what actually can happen to the stock. So if, for instance, Tupperware does announce this, then they can avoid all the people that are kind of skeptical about it and just bashing, for instance. So I feel like this is definitely a very rare opportunity for them to do. But once again, going back to options activity, based on this, if you are optimistic, this is showing all the calls. As far as the strike prices, expiry dates, it is anticipated for next week to go anywhere from, looks like the $4 range to $5 range. So once again, I think there's going to be a lot of volatility, and you can tell that based on the fib level. So I'll go over all the things that you need to know. On a side note, Moomoo is coming to Canada. So if you are a Canadian can take advantage of this just by signing up. All you need is just a phone number, no other details. They're doing a soft launch, so click on the link and then you can sign up and get hopefully a chance to win some gift cards. So it's a win-win in my opinion. Link in the description below and also the comments. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I frequently do share a lot of the American promos such as this, which again you guys can still take advantage of by opening up an account, throw $100 at it, you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000 and you get a $50 cash reward. So once again, whether you are a Canadian or American, take advantage of free stuff such as this. But once again, going back over here as far as the fib levels, so the spread has been and is very wide, like I've been bringing up on my last couple of videos. So you have to anticipate and be very comfortable with a lot of volatility, such as what happened on Friday. That's just the tip of the iceberg. But of course, it did signal the fact that it's actually trading within the technicals, because it did bounce off of that $3.20 range, and that is exactly that pivot point right now. So of course, I think that's a very strong support that we now know is going to hopefully hold. But over and above that though, $4.82 is that next big resistance. So as far as this, I do feel that if they were to announce something similar to GNS, then it could easily go up. They do also have their Q2 earnings that is set to come out fairly soon, most likely within the next week. So of course, I think that could be a fairly good sign, assuming it's not absolutely crazy. But the fact that they did recently get restructuring, that whole deal that came out at the beginning of August, I feel like that is sufficient proof that they at least aren't burning so much cash, or else a lot of their creditors wouldn't really offer that, right? So once again, you kind of have to think between the lines. So when it comes down to it, I do feel that still, despite everything, that the true intrinsic value for Tupperware should be around the $6 to $7 range, and that's not counting a squeeze. So there's a lot of things that Tupperware could potentially do right now to cause a spike, or even just hire share intel. A lot of these companies, such as GNS, has hired third-party companies to monitor the trading activity for legal stuff such as naked shorting and so forth. So once again, I think there is a fairly good risk versus reward with this play. So let me know you guys' thoughts. Keep in mind, as I always say though, I'm not a financial advisor, so you guys always do your own due diligence. With that, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that, and take advantage of these Moomoo offers like I've been sharing with you. Link in the description below and also the comments. With that said, appreciate you guys watching. Let's eventually make a lot of money on Tupperware.